Hartford County, and first of all, I'm on your side.
Camera in front. Camera in front.
As I was walking in, someone asked me and Delegate Hadaway, that's not proper English, but whatever, how they go about testifying. So I'm imagining that there are more of you out there that want to testify today.
Yeah!
You haven't signed up already.
Coming up here,
Can you hear me? Yeah. I haven't screamed that loud since I went to a race. Okay, as I was coming in, someone approached us to ask how he can go about testifying today. We told him, and I imagine that there are some more of you out there who want to testify. Yeah. You only have until noon to sign up in the Senate Judiciary Proceedings Committee. You'll need to go back behind me into the Senate, go through security, and go up to the second floor and sign your name. There will be many people there, and there will be a lot of people already signed in, but you only have until noon. So if you're going to do it, I suggest you walk over now. Let's do this. Again, I'm on your side, and all these legislators behind me. We're on your side. We're going to do the best we can. We don't sit on the committee, but we're going to do the best we can to just defeat this ridiculous, I don't even want to say the word, but ridiculous bill. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Patrick Shummo. I'm president of Maryland Shale Issue. Welcome and thank you! I just saw some of the sponsors of the legislation we're here to oppose today in the elevator. We were joking around and they said, we saw some of the sponsors of this legislation just a moment ago in the elevator. And we were making jokes about, how many people might be around. And we said there were, well over 1,000 plus the parking lot backed up. Eyes open. To let you know what's going on, it's going to be pro-con today in this hearing. An hour each. It's going to be a test of will to see who can hold out the longest. I think I know that answer.
Test one. Can you guys hear me out there? All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. We have Shannon Alford. She's our liaison for the state for the National Rifle Association. I want you to go ahead and welcome her. We're going to welcome our lawmakers. We're going to welcome all of our friends, and we're going to go ahead in that room and tell them what we think. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hello, Maryland residents, Second Amendment supporters, law-abiding citizens. Welcome to Annapolis on this beautiful day. It's a great day to defend liberty. I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize the lawmakers that are here, that are present. Some of them are going to be coming up to speak to you. They're all steadfast Second Amendment supporters. We need to keep these guys here, and we need to give them some more allies in 2 years. Okay, so we've got, I'm just going to go from who I can see here. We've got Delegate O'Donnell, House Minority Leader. We've got Delegate McDermott. We've got Delegate Norman. We have Delegate Mike Smeagol. We have Delegate Kathy Vitale. We have Senator Nancy Jacobs. We have Delegate Jeannie Hadaway. Delegate Donna Stifler. Delegate Steve Hershey. Delegate Justin Reedy. Delegate Jay Jacobs. Delegate Nancy Stocksdale. Delegate Kathy Shalega. Delegate Kathy Afzali. Delegate Gail Bates. Delegate Ron George. Oh, Delegate Otto. Okay, so I'm here. I am employed by the NRA, but I work for you. And we're going to be doing everything we can to defeat this legislation that infringes on your Second Amendment rights. We know that it's a fundamental right. And we know that law-abiding citizens are going to be the only ones affected by this bill because criminals don't follow laws. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to some of our lawmakers right now. You're going to hear from them. You're going to hear about the fight that they're taking it in the committees, on the floor, and all the work that they're doing for you. We're going to hear from some citizens today. They've got some pretty compelling stories. They're just like you. And then we're going to head over to the hearing, and we're going to pack it in.
Hello! I'm Delegate Michael Smeagol. When I joined the United States Marine Corps, I swore an oath to uphold this Constitution, and that oath is not worn off. Senate Bill 281 and House Bill 294, under the guise of keeping us safe, are only an attack on your Second Amendment rights. That's right. Yeah. Nothing in the governor's bill will affect the criminals. It will only affect you, the law-abiding citizens who are trying to exercise your constitutional rights. They talk about a magazine capacity, and they say, we want you don't have a need for anything more than 10. Well, government is not there to determine our needs. It is there to serve our needs. The police, when I asked the police, are you going to go down to 10? No. Why aren't you? Because the bad guys are going to have more than 10 rounds. So I asked, if the bad guys are going to have more than 10 rounds, and the police are going to have more than 10 rounds, why is it the law-abiding citizen trying to protect their family has to have less than 10 rounds? It makes no sense. The United States Supreme Court has said that if something is pervasive common lawful use, like a 20 or a 30 round magazine, that it is legal. So this attempt to put us below a 10 round magazine is going to be illegal, because when they sell these firearms, they sell them, the common use is the 20 or 30 round regular capacity magazine. There are things that can be done. Number one, address the mental health issue. The same progressive thought that said in the 1980s that we have to take people out of mental health centers and dump them into the streets because it was somehow more restrictive for them to keep them safe from harming themselves and others, is the same thought that's trying to push these bills to take away your Second Amendment rights. When they put the people out of the mental health centers into the streets, the promise was that they would go and have services available. That promise was never kept. The people now end up in jail, no services for their mental health. They go to an emergency room, you get 48 hours of medication, and you're put back on the street. If you want to address the problem of people who have mental health problems going and commit crimes, then do something about the mental health problem. Don't come to the law-abiding citizens to say you're responsible for the actions of those who our progressive ideas put into this position in the first place. The Baltimore City police chief used to talk about bad guys with guns. Well, look what New York did to the bad guys with guns. They said, you're not going to get any parole or probation. You're not going to get those diminution credits. When you go out and you commit a crime, we're going to keep you in jail. And isn't that the easiest way to take care of those who are causing problems with the misuse of a firearm? Keep them in jail. But they won't do that. They want to define an assault weapon not based upon its performance characteristics, but by aesthetics. People who know nothing about firearms should say nothing about firearms. The threat to your liberties is here, and it is real. I want to thank you all for gathering for our Constitution, which is being assailed. There is no executive over there, the governor's house. There is no legislature back here or that meets in there. And there is no judiciary that can do anything to change what the Second Amendment says. The Second Amendment comes from nature, and nature's God. The Constitution merely protects that from government interfering. And it is interfering with these bills. So I thank you all for coming out here. I thank you standing up for our Constitution. Thank you.
Nancy Jacobs. I just bought a new gun. I didn't do too bad with it, did I?
That's gun control.
That's right. I'll get better. That was just the first time I shot it. I'm on the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee. I will be the one smiling at you and giving you a thumbs up and nodding my head. We cannot let this bill go through. Maryland's supposed to be the free state. If this bill passes, Maryland will no longer be the free state. We're going to have to put a nail in the coffin of Maryland being the free state if this passes. We are here for you. We're going to do everything within our power. We got to kill this bill. Thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. I think there might be a few more people here than the media anticipated. Thank you. Delegate Tony O'Donnell's coming up next.
I wanted to take a good look around at a fine group of American patriots. Thank you so much for being here. A few moments ago, I was talking to a few reporters down here in the well of this memorial, and something happened that was a moment I just want to tell you about on this birthday of the 40th President of the United States. And it was an American bald eagle flew overhead. I don't know about you, but I believe that there was divine intervention at the founding of this great nation. And that was a sign to us, I believe, that we're doing the right thing, we're on the right track, and protecting freedom. See, let me tell you something that the founders knew when they put together and struggled to craft that Constitution. They didn't put a Second Amendment in it to give us a right. That Second Amendment is not there to give us a right. It doesn't give us a right. What it does is it precludes the government from taking away a right we ever had. We always had. Now, I'm going to share with you a quote from the 40th President of the United States because I think it's particularly poignant for us today. And it says this, quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for protected, and hand it on to them to do the same. That's why we're here today. That's why we're going to fight this incursion into our constitutional liberties, and that's why these legislators are on your side. God bless you, and long God bless the United States of America. They let me speak, not because of my wit and wisdom, but it's because of my good looks. But I have to tell you, we got some great legislators here, and I have the honor of introducing one from the Eastern Shore. She's a daughter of the Eastern Shore. She's a House Minority Whip, and she's a fine legislator, Delegate Jeannie Hadaway Riccio. Welcome her.
To quickly acknowledge some additional legislators that have joined us. We have Delegate Schultz, Delegate Reedy, and Delegate McDonough. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge you. This is an incredible crowd, and I know that it takes a lot of time and effort to come out here, but I know why you're here, because this is an important issue to you, and it's an important issue to us as well. Now, I represent the Eastern Shore, but I care about our entire state and our entire country. And I have a message for the governor. As law-abiding citizens, as Marylanders, and as Americans, we should not be asked to give up our Second Amendment rights. And I vow to fight with you until the bitter end to protect that right and every other right that has been afforded to us in a Constitution, our Constitution, the American Constitution. Thank you all for being here. I want to be brief because there's a lot of other people that want to speak, but it's wonderful to see this great crowd, and I look forward to working with you to protect our rights. Thank you.
Dawn Saunders. When you see that it's my name, it's my email address.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Merkel. I'm 15 years old. I've been shooting ever since I was 8 years old. I've grown up with guns all my life. This is what I've been doing. Ever since I was 11 years old, I started competing with AR-15s under the Maryland Rifle Club. According to the NRA, I shoot expert scores. I personally disagree with gun control and all the legislation for many reasons. One being that because I'm a young shooter, I plan on attending college. There are many colleges that offer scholarships. The NRA offers scholarships for shooting. If this bill passes, I won't be eligible for any of them. This is infringing on my educational opportunities. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that in order to purchase a gun and be able to maintain it and own it in your home after this legislation is passed, if it's passed, low-income families, the people who need it the most, crime rates are highest in low-income neighborhoods, will no longer be able to purchase and have guns. Why is it that we're taking away guns from the people who need it? Why are we liberating American citizens, law-abiding citizens, of their rights to own guns and ensuring criminals all around the nation that if they pull out a gun, nobody can defend themselves? Right. What is this gun control legislation doing? Is it helping you? No. It's not helping you. It's not helping me. Who is it helping? It's helping criminals. It's the government controlling the people. It's helping criminals. It's ensuring that this is a government, originally was a government of the people, for the people, by the people. We are the people. We are the government. So how is it that we're letting them take away our rights? We're not. Out of my cold, dead hands. You can't take away guns from the American people. The Second Amendment is the backbone of the U.S. Constitution. It's what we stand on. If you take away guns, who's to secure our rights? Who's going to do it? The government's not going to secure our rights. They can't take our guns. The police, It takes 6 minutes for the police, average, 6 minutes for them to respond to your call. Do you know how many shots can be fired against you in 6 minutes? Hundreds.
No matter what gun you're using.
Exactly.
That's why the foreign government comes to our shores with guns.
So, I personally say that we keep the rally going as long as we can. We go along with this. We reject Bill SB 281 and all the gun control legislation after that. Martin O'Malley, you can't take my guns. You can't take my rights.
Thank you very much. My name's Kevin Kelly. I'm from Allegheny County. I think about 4,000 of you have received my correspondence. Let me say this, I'm going to keep this very brief because I'm in a work group right now and I'm working on something which is important to you. Bottom line is the vast majority of people in this state who lawfully own firearms never commit crime with firearms. Yeah. So leave us the hell alone. Now get ready for something that's going to knock your socks off. You ready for this? Yeah. No, don't be saying that kind of thing. I'm extremely close to law enforcement. I've been honored by the Maryland State FOP on a number of occasions as Legislator of the Year because I deeply appreciate the risks and sacrifices of Maryland's law enforcement personnel. County, state, municipal, bi-county, whomever. Now be ready for this. I just got off the phone with the president of the Maryland State FOP. That is the Mother Lodge, representing over 22,000 active and retired law enforcement officers in this state. They are submitting a letter of opposition to the gun bill. And the reason for that opposition is this thing hasn't been studied. They are working on sheer emotionalism. Let's deal with this issue in facts, statistics, logic, common sense. Not because something is black and it looks ugly. That is the argument against the assault weapons. They don't look attractive, okay? So once again, let's step back, study this thing. Once again, God bless us, God bless all of you, and God bless the Second Amendment. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, let's raise our voices a little bit, a little young, because you know what? The governor doesn't think you exist. I've watched the governor go back and forth the last couple of weeks with moving up on his gun bill, proposing this, proposing that, and when he talks like we don't exist. Let him know that today. Let's hear out. Let's make sure we hear out. Say, why do you oppose the governor's bill? Why do you oppose the governor's bill? Let's just look at a couple of things in the governor's bill. Licensing. You know what? If the governor has his way, the only people who have guns in this state will be rich people and criminals. Exactly right. Why? Because his licensing proposal says, first of all, you're going to need a new license. You got to be fingerprinted. You got to pay for that. You're going to have to take off work to get it. He wants additional training up to 8 hours. You're going to have to pay for that, take off work to get it. He wants shooting proficiency. We haven't quite figured out in this bill, how can you have proficiency if you got to have a license first, and you can't get a license unless you have shooting proficiency. But he hasn't quite worked that out yet, okay? So you're going to have to take off work and pay the live shoot. At the end of the day, estimates are this new licensing requirement going to cost you over $400 before you even get in the game. Under that proposal, only rich people will have guns in this state. And you know, there's another time when the government tried to block people from being able to exercise a right. That's when the government instituted a poll tax. And you know, it was the same argument during those times. You got to write, you got to pay, because after all, if you care, you should pay, and you should have education. And again, that education is what kept a lot of people from voting in this country. So what we need to tell the governor today, while you're down here, is that owning a gun and using a gun is a right. And you shouldn't have to go out and get a license to exercise a right. And in effect, what the governor's proposed is a poll tax on your right to own a gun, and that's wrong. You know, also provisions in the governor's bill. The idea will be that a person could go and serve his country in Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere else, come home, buy a gun, and under the governor's law, the way it's written right now, because if he's under 21 or she's under 21, they won't be able to buy munitions for that gun. So how do you explain to the person that served this country, may have served on foreign soil, yet he comes back to the state of Maryland and under the governor's proposal, he won't be able to buy munitions for a gun he bought legally? There's something really, really wrong for that. And last in the governor's bill, that definitely jumps at you as you read this plus 30-page document that was slapped together in the middle of the night. You can tell when you read it, is the idea that he defers to the superintendent of state police. They refer to it as secretary in the bill over and over and over again. And why it's so important that you came here today is we need to hold the governor accountable, because what they're basically doing is passing a bill, then they're going to have the state police write the regulations afterwards. And as all of you know that are in this crowd, those regulations aren't going to favor gun ownership in the state of Maryland. In no way they're going to do that. So there's lots of problems. But we're also up here today with offering solutions. Delegate McDonough is going to tell you about his solution related to those who use a gun in a commitment of a crime, shouldn't get parole, shouldn't be able to plea bargain, shouldn't get the diminution credit. It's a brilliant bill, and Pat McDonough put that together. He'll tell you more about that. Delegate Cluster's put together a bill that says, you know what, if we're really worried about safety, let's start with the schools. Let's put a security officer in each of our schools and let the gambling money pay for it. Delegate Spiegel's put together a team, a list of bills along with others in the General Assembly to issue the mental health issue so that those that shouldn't have guns won't have them and be able to use the system to keep them from owning guns. And you know what, at the end of the day, when you talk to people one-on-one, they're more worried about the mental health issues in guns than they are worried about assault weapons bans or munitions cuts. Let's deal with the real problem. They're going to protect people. Let me just say thank you to each and every one of you for the sacrifices that you made to come here today. And as you walk around the state capitol, let it be known to all the legislators and to the governor and to everybody who will listen that you exist, you care, and you care about your rights. Thank you.
Hello, Patriots. I'm Delegate Mike McDermott from the Eastern Shore. In Maryland, we will give you a handgun